Welcome, one and all, to podcast episode number 11 of Business in the VOM Today. I'm Michael Murphy, the current president of the Mamaroneck Chamber of Commerce, and this is my co-host, Chamber Vice President Jennifer O'Neill.
Hello, Michael. The Mamaroneck Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit membership organization established in 1917 as the Businessmen's Association of Mamaroneck. We've come a long way. We are a thriving group of merchants, restaurateurs, and business professionals dedicated to helping and supporting one another for the good of the community. A special shout out to the executive officers and members of the board, all volunteers who work diligently at making the Chamber an organization which promotes and supports all businesses in the village of Mamaroneck.
Could you imagine if we were doing episodes during the 1917 with those crew?
I wouldn't be here, Michael.
The Mamaroneck Chamber of Commerce will continue to work hard at following our slogan, which is...
Keep it local.
Keep it local. That is encouraging shopping, dining, hiring, and visiting your local pharmacy, independent, doing business locally, and advocating for business in the village of Mamaroneck. So where do we begin, Jennifer, or have we?
I think we've already begun. We have a special guest with us today, one of my favorite people on the board. Sorry, I guess we're not supposed to have favorites, but she is. Sophia Laristis, who is our local pharmacist. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Sophia, this segment here is called Know Your Board Member, and you are a Chamber board member. We're so delighted. You know, it seems like every other commercial you see on TV is something about cold or flu remedy. I mean, you know, it's the season. But to feel better, you'll want to meet this first guest, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, either not here, you want to go down to her pharmacy. Okay, so she's already been introduced. We got some questions for you. How about the first one here? You recently were featured on the Chamber's first celebration of women-owned businesses in the village of Mamaroneck. All Chamber members, and you are our one and only independent pharmacy in the village of Mamaroneck. Give us a little bit of your background.
Okay. Well, the rumors are true. It is the one and only local independent pharmacy owned by pharmacists and women-owned, right? So a little bit of my background. What do you need to know?
How long have you been here? Where were you before?
Okay.
Where are you from?
Where am I
from?
from?
You're from the village, yes. All right. Give us all the salient details.
If the pharmacy does well, I'll be here. Let me tell you.
Fantastic.
I'll be here. I'll be moving on up. I am a pharmacist. I used to practice in the city before I came to Mamaroneck. And before life went to 2020, that's where I was. And then after that, I did my research. I was unhappy with the healthcare system and whatnot. And I said, you know what? Life is too short. I think I need to do this on my own. And that's what brought me to Mamaroneck.
Wow, 2020, you definitely did pick the right time. Yes,
No, I didn't pick the time.
Everybody was unhappy with the health system, that's for sure.
I didn't open then.
No.
That's when the light bulb. That's when the light bulb came up. And that was it. I mean, I can go into a deeper conversation, but you need me more than the time we have.
Well, we do have 10 minutes, although
10 minutes.
So you've got this is
That's
your
okay.
10 minutes
That's
of
okay.
fame here.
That's for another day.
So, and keep smiling because the camera is watching. What else we got?
Tell people where your pharmacy is located, Sophia.
So the pharmacy is located right on this strip, 430 Mamaroneck Avenue. It is between Farmers Insurance and Gary's Barbershop, right across Roasters. So everyone knows where Roasters is. You'll find us right there.
Wow.
Yep.
Couple of stores down from Smash Burgers.
That's it. There you go.
Everybody knows where that is.
Everybody knows where that is.
So what sets your pharmacy apart from other pharmacies?
Ooh.
Which will go unnamed.
Okay.
Well, I'll start with one. Your pharmacy smells delicious. When I walk in the door, it does. It smells beautiful.
And how does that make you feel?
Very happy that I stopped by to say hi to you.
So this is why our pharmacy smells good. When something smells good, it makes you feel good. But not only that. I mean, the pharmacy in itself looks beautiful. And what it is I put my heart and soul into it. So I think it not only shows on the exterior, but with my customers as well. I think they feel it. Not only is it a vibe and the energy matches it, but they just feel the appreciation. I think that's what it is, and that's what sets it apart.
It's
We-
super clean, and she has not only medicinal things, but she has like little gift type things, like
Yes.
nice lip balms and skin moisturizers, and
Big on self-care. So we even have books because the mind controls pretty much everything. So we got to tackle that.
How about giving your audience a little bit of background on why you named your pharmacy
Okay.
as you did?
So Mama Village RX and Wellness. I said people are either going to love it or hate it. But it is a long name. And Mamaroneck is the town, the village. So I thought Mama Village, Mama for short for Mamaroneck. And I'm a mama right here. And there's a special church that, and saint, Ayos Mamas. I'm Greek, that's my background. And I thought, you know what? That's what I'm going to go for. And that was it.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, when you walk into a Mama Village pharmacy, you're going to meet the pharmacist herself.
You will. Unless I have a day off.
unless she's here.
Unless I have a day off and I'm here. Yeah.
Why did you choose to join the chamber, Sophia?
Oh. So I'll tell you, the chamber, if it wasn't for the chamber, I don't think I'd be I don't think I'd be where I am today with the pharmacy if I wasn't part of the chamber. How did I choose to? I was actually referred. They said, "Oh, did you join the chamber?" I said, "I have no idea." You know, they told me. Am I allowed to mention names?
Absolutely.
Robert. Manny from Roberts. Yeah.
Manny Ennis.
So he said the
longtime
first thing
member.
you have to do is become a chamber member, and that's what I did. And thank God for that. That's all I say. Because
Yes,
I
we're
wouldn't be
glad
here.
you
Yeah.
did. She's a board member, right? We have
Not
a
only
wonderful
board member, but it honestly, I don't think I'd get this far without you guys. Yeah.
Wow. So, you know, here we are. It's February. Folks are hacking, sneezing, wheezing. Before we tell our audience just to visit Mama Village, what advice can you give them now? It's February. It's that kind of season.
It's February, but the flu is around, and it's gonna be around. Right now, it's not just the flu. There's COVID, there's flu, there's norovirus. The most important thing we all know: we have to wash our hands. We have soap. We sell soap in the pharmacy too. But flu shots, vaccines are important to prevent. But if you need a treat, we have prescriptions, but we also have vitamin supplements, medicinal grade vitamin supplements. So if you want to prevent with that, we have everything.
You owe it to yourself to visit Mama Village.
You do.
You always leave feeling better than you went in.
And it's just not the smell. Take us
It's
home.
just
Give
not
them
the
one
smell.
more reason why to get into your come to your place. And some of the services that you offer.
So some of the services that we offer that you wouldn't really get at another pharmacy nearby, we do DMV eye exams. So if you need to renew your license, people, and they ask you for that eye exam, come on down. We will submit it directly to the DMV, and you're ready to renew. That's one. And we also do passport photos. So a little bit of everything. We offer free delivery services, and honestly, it's the way you will feel when you come to the pharmacy, leave the pharmacy, but knowing that someone cares about you.
For
Truly
those who
cares about
don't
you.
know, what's the difference between an independent pharmacy and a not independent pharmacy?
Oh my! I think everyone is used to like the big chain pharmacies, but the difference is the personalized service and attention. But I think you won't know until you actually step foot into an independent pharmacy and see the actual difference.
They're not going to smell as nice, that's for sure.
That's true.
Hey, thank you, Sophia. We're delighted to have you as a guest on our show. You are the owner of Mama Village Pharmacy, located at 430 Mamaroneck Avenue in the VOM. I love your tagline, essential wellness everyone deserves.
That is true. That is very true.
Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you both. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jennifer.
Wow, that was a great guest. Sophia, I mean, it's fantastic, right?
She's an important person to know in this village.
Absolutely. And just you owe it to yourself just to walk down there if you haven't, just to smell the difference between her place and one of those other chain places. This is the proof's in the pudding. Anyways, our next spotlight is going to be a featured member, and it's Jill Krudick, owner and resident artist. Actually, you could be Mamaroneck's resident artist because you have the only gallery, as far as I know, in the Village of
Isn't
Mamaroneck.
that a wonderful thing?
Well, actually, it's a wonderful thing on one hand, but if you think about it, you see, we should have more galleries in the Village of Mamaroneck. If anybody's
should.
listening out there, we need. Hello, Jill. Nice to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So this is the Chamber Podcast. We do this once a month, and we're delighted to have you as a guest. My first question, of course, for the audience is going to want to know, how did you become a full-time artist? And when did you start Jill Krudik Fine Art?
Well, I became a full-time artist about 15 years ago. Before that, I was a stock analyst on Wall Street. I covered entertainment and leisure stocks for many years.
You can see the connection right there.
Exactly. A right and left brain kind of thing going on. Then I worked for Warner Music. I helped take the company public, ran investor relations and a corporate strategy group. And then as my kids became teenagers and were sort of approaching their high school years, I decided to take a breath. And what that meant was I started to take some art classes at the Art Student League in Manhattan.
Wow.
And from that grew this incredible passion that I had never planned to really embark on. And I became a full-time artist shortly thereafter. So I painted as a child and on and off through my life, but it wasn't something I ever planned. And it's now become my greatest passion.
I have to throw this out there. So how do people get to see your work?
So I opened Jill Krudik Fine Art in 2018. It's right next to Keller Eaton, architect, and it's
And above?
Smash Burger,
Right,
and across the street from the train station.
Good.
So the location is beyond fabulous with Northern Light, which is perfect for an artist.
Gorgeous.
And it's about a 1,500 square foot space. And in there, you'll see all my work. I do about 8 different types of series of paintings, from very abstract, atmospheric style type paintings to geometric paintings to works on paper. I have also showcased other artists over the years. So I've had shows for other artists and I invite them in. So it's been a very productive space. It looks like a gallery, but it actually functions like a studio. So I go there every day to paint. And it's really a lot of fun.
It's one of the most soothing places in the village. It just has such a nice, comfortable, peaceful, beautiful. Oh, I could live there.
I sense a theme here. We were talking to Sophia about how wonderful her place. Now we get this, how well it smells, and now
It's
we
very
have this
sensual.
this soothing feeling.
Yeah.
So, how do you find your clients, and how do your clients find you?
Well, I exhibit a lot. So I've had about 4 solo museum shows over the past 5 years. I have shows all the time. And so I meet a lot of clients through those efforts. And how do they find me? I have a website, Jill Krudik Fine Art. Also on Instagram at Jill Krudik Fine Art. And Jill Krudik Fine Art Gallery. When I'm showcasing other artists, I post on that particular page. I have work up on Artsy, and of course, I welcome visitors all the time. So, text or call, because I have doggies that I take out for walks very frequently. So it's always best to check in before popping by, but I'm there pretty much 7 days a week.
Personal favorite artist?
Well, I have to say Monet. I've always been moved by Monet, and in fact, we're going to France next week because I have a show at the Grand Palais. So that's Monet's birthplace.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited, and Monet has definitely been a great inspiration through my life as an artist.
I can honestly see it in your work.
I was going to
That's so
say the
sweet.
same thing. Very interesting. Okay,
Thank
fun
you.
fact about you that people should know.
I'm a scuba diver. And
Whoa.
scuba diving has been a very key thing of inspiration for me. So I spend time in the Seychelles, and I enjoy being down deep in the water and all the beautiful coral. And it inspired an 85-foot-long piece that I did for a museum show that I had about a year ago. I know it's made up of 25 individual panels, each 30 by 40 inches, called Coral Beliefs. And it was supposed to give you a sense of what it feels like to dive underwater. And it tries to capture both the beauty and also the debris that you see underwater. So it was an environmental statement, but also meant to be a beautiful piece.
Wow.
I also feel the enormity of the ocean when I see your pieces.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, it's a big inspiration. You know, I do have a lot of blue and white pieces, but I do have all the colors in the rainbow. So yes, you have to come visit if you haven't seen it.
Well, you know, the Chamber's delighted to have you in. I mean, we're happy that you are a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank
And so,
you.
you know, you were one of the original. You were one of the original or organizers of our women-owned business celebration
Yeah.
in the Chamber in the Village of Mamaroneck, along with Uta Lonergan, who owns Hymet. Sorry, Uta, if you're listening. But we're going to have another one coming up here on March 27th.
Yes.
And want to give us some idea what that's going to look like?
We're really excited. The first one was a huge hit. Everyone came out. We featured about 7 different women-owned businesses where each person was given around 10 minutes to promote their business, answer questions, also display their products and services. And we're going to be doing the same kind of format at Hymet in March. And each of the women who presented at the last event get to nominate the next set of women businesses.
That's cool.
And we hope that everyone gets shown over time. So we want this event to continue. And there are a lot of women-owned businesses in Mamaroneck that we all have to learn more about. So it's fabulous, and I'm delighted to be involved.
You know, when I visited her place was about a year ago. I said to her that she should meet Uta because she also has a terrific space. I think it was
Yeah.
after we did the event.
Right.
So that's how the two of them got together, because they probably do have the two coolest. If anybody thinks they've got the coolest space, you can enter the contest here. But right now, they're the undisputed winners of that. You know, you've been a chamber member for quite a while now. So why did you decide to join the Chamber of Commerce?
The Chamber of Commerce is absolutely essential for businesses that are in and around our local area. The events are critical. You get to meet all the other local businesses. I've found it to be a wonderful stepping off point in so many different ways, and I've really enjoyed being a member, getting to know the other businesses, and I really think it's helped raise the visibility of Jill Krudik Fine Art over time.
Well, I think we need to have another event at her space.
Absolutely agreed.
What do you say in the fall?
What
We
are you
should do
doing
that.
tonight?
You're always welcome. And in
Thank you.
fact,
I would love to.
And also other businesses are welcome to showcase events at my space. You know, I like to make it available to other local businesses. I think that's really important.
Well, that's terrific. We'll look for opportunities to try to do that. Jill,
Yes.
thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
It's a delight to have you in the community.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you at Hymet.
Yes,
On
excited.
the 27th. I think you can register now, yes?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes, on the website.
Terrific. Thank you so much.
Jennifer, our next guest is in our segment called Know Your Village. Did you know that the Village of Mamaroneck has been the host of the annual Sound Shore St. Patrick's Day Parade going on 13 years? And according to the parade website, which is soundshoreparade.com, the Sound Shore St. Patrick's Day Parade celebrates Irish-American heritage and the American immigrant experience, uniting the Sound Shore community from Port Chester to Mount Vernon. The parade also supports education through its scholarship fund, which has awarded more than $60,000 in scholarships to deserving Sound Shore students. For more information on that, how to march, volunteer, or sponsor the parade, visit soundshoreparade.com. We're delighted to introduce you to our 2025 Grand Marshal, who will be leading this year's parade. I'm so excited. The parade in the second best place to march this side of Dublin's Fair City, hailing from County Larchmont, Matt McCauley. Matt, great to have you here. Quite an honor being the Grand Marshal.
It is. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Certainly, it is an honor. I have to say that.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So
Your local flavor.
I'm a local. My local flavor is I came to New Rochelle. I'm a South Side kid from New Rochelle. In the second grade, went to Jefferson School, Isaac Young, New Rochelle High School. Then after that, Iona College. Became a New York City police officer. I was also a paramedic at the time, and then eventually went to law school afterward, and now live in Larchmont.
That sounds like 3 lifetimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I was also a garbage man for one summer in the village of Larchmont. So,
Well, that's
done that, so,
exciting.
yeah.
The stories you could tell on that one. Now, can you tell us why you decided to take on the duties of the Grand Marshal?
I didn't think it was a choice. So
Michael.
when the discussion came up about it, to understand my background is I always like to be in the back. I've been very deeply involved with 9/11 issues, and it became an opportunity to highlight the first responders in the South Shore community, because what a lot of people don't know is that the first departments to actually respond into Ground Zero outside of New York City came from Westchester. The City of Yonkers Fire Department, the City of New Rochelle Fire Department, and then Village of Larchmont, Town of Mamaroneck, firemen from Mount Vernon, White Plains, Harrison, Portchester, all responded to Ground Zero. So this provided an opportunity to sort of highlight them. And in my discussions, I was very clear, like I would be happy to do this as long as I could very quickly stand behind everybody else, because while I was a 9/11 responder myself, it's about the whole group. And it gives that opportunity to highlight those, because we've lost many in our community to 9/11 related illnesses. And most of the departments have lost multiple people in the community to 9/11 illnesses. So it became a great opportunity to highlight that and the service to others. And you get into Irish heritage, and it's about being humble and service to others. I mean, that is really a big part of Irish heritage, are those things. And it all comes together.
Wow, that's great. You know, this year's parade will be a little bit different, as you mentioned. The committee is highlighting the work and the sacrifice of the region's first responders, and by extension, their families. Why is that is important to you, if you want to elaborate a little more on that?
Sure. I was downtown on 9/11. Everybody has their 9/11 story. I was within blocks when the first plane went by, and somehow got involved that day and many other days afterward. Then got more involved in the legislation. I got to the point where I used to joke around and say I'm the big Irish guy sitting behind Jon Stewart when he was yelling at Congress, because as an attorney I was able to go down to Washington, D.C. and work on these issues as a responder, as an advocate with people like Jon Stewart, John Field, the teams that we ran down there over the years. And it became very important because friends of mine started to get sick. And Brian Payne, we lost him 2 years ago. You have Danny Foley, you have Dennis Tortorella, you have so many people from the community, unfortunately, have gotten sick. And they're great families. And they're all people who asked for nothing. They're people who did their job. And there's so many people from this community like that. And unfortunately, there's more and more people who were down at Ground Zero as responders and survivors that work down there that have 9/11 related illnesses. And this provides an opportunity to bring the St. Patrick's Day Parade full circle into service to others. And this is a group of people that went down there who, really just wanted to do their job, and they'd go back again in a second. And, we honor those that went, we honor those that we've lost, and respect the families.
Wow. The Sound Shore Parade is a community event, and it's something this community was hit on 9/11, and also and continue. We feel the reverberations of that, and we can't forget. So we're delighted that the committee is delighted that we're able to highlight that in the parade here. And in the chamber, see, the chamber is made up of the businesses in the village of Mamaroneck, and it's great that the businesses also know that this is the reason why we're doing this, and it's not just people marching down the street playing music and blaring the horns or whatever. So now, Matt, we want to thank you for being a guest.
It's a good crowd that likes to spend money too. So I think that the businesses can actually have a nice combination of things.
Well put. So. Yes, remember that. So delighted to have you a guest on our show today. You're going to officially receive your sash and the charge to lead the 2025 Sound Shore St. Patrick's Day Parade at the annual Hearts and Shamrocks fundraiser. This year it's going to be on March 6th at Hampshire Country Club. Now, you can still buy tickets for this celebration by going to soundshoreparade.com. Matt, you will be there.
Yes, I will.
That's great. So you want to meet Matt at that, you'll be able to meet him there. Okay, if you want to march behind him in the parade, that's always available. Matt, thank you for being the Grand Marshal and for your service to the parade and for the community in general.
Thank you very much. I mean, our goal this year, certainly with the parade, is to have as many first responders from as many agencies to march this year. All the ambulance corps, all the volunteer fire departments, all the paid fire departments, all the firemen from New York City, everybody that came down from Rockland, anybody that wants to march in the parade this year. That's what it's all about, and sort of having fun, because next to New York City, which I've had the honor to march in a few times, that's a good crowd to get together, and I think that the businesses will do well with that crowd as well and celebrate them, and we'll do good.
The 13th Grand Marshal, it will not be an unlucky number, for sure. Stick around with us while we wrap up the show over here. You know, we're going to go on the upcoming events. Jennifer, what's coming up? Now, don't say the chamber breakfast tomorrow because it's been postponed.
Yes, for weather.
Yeah, weather. So it's going to be next week.
We have Matt Sullivan is going to be doing a workshop at the White Room, which is another beautiful space that we have available in our area. And we have the Women-Owned Business Forum, which is the 27th. And what else am I missing?
Well, Matt Sullivan's doing a show called Lights, Camera, Engage, using video to boost your business with LMC Media, where we're an LMC Media studio on the Avenue.
That we are.
Yes, I think that's it for now. So 2 things to look forward to, and that breakfast has been it's been rescheduled for next Thursday, the 13th. So that's it for show number 11. Thanks to our guest, Chamber Board member Dr. Sophia Laristis, owner of the Mama Village RX, our one and only independent pharmacy. Go visit.
Absolutely.
Jill Krudik, owner of Jill Krudik Fine Art. Go visit. And the 2025 South Shore St. Patrick's Day Parade Grand Marshal Matt McCauley, who's with us right now, who will be leading this year's parade, and of course the ever-amazing LMC Media team for producing this podcast, who will be covering this year's parade, bringing it to you live to your home on Saturday, March 29th, sponsored by Orange Bank and Trust. And that watching the parade on LMC Media is the second best way to enjoy the parade if you're not able to march or cheer from the sideline. Time for the promotion.
Okay. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Special thank you to LMC Media. This podcast was recorded at their studio on the Avenue in Mamaroneck, New York. Please visit lmcmedia.org to book your time in this state-of-the-art convenient location, walkable from the Metro North train station on Mamaroneck Avenue. You can also support this nonprofit media center at lmcmedia.org/donate. And I would just like to thank Matt for coming today and for all the work that you're doing for the 9/11 responders and their families.
Last thoughts,
very much.
Matt, before we go out, before you read that last paragraph?
Make it a great day. Make it a green day. Come out and have fun.
Great. And
And
take
the
us home.
Mamaroneck Chamber of Commerce will continue to work hard and follow our slogan, keep it local. That is encouraging shopping, dining, and hiring locally. For more information on how you can join the chamber, visit MamaroneckChamberofCommerce.org.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Jill. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just call me or call Jennifer. We'll figure out a way to get you in there. And yes, we'll see you on the streets of Mamaroneck or the next event.
Thank you, Michael.
Can't wait to show number 12.